Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot and your freestyle general read for the upcoming weeks ahead. This is a general read, so it doesn't revolve around love and relationships, but I'm going to, if I see them, I'm going to tell you about them. So, Okay, so the 3D overview, current energies, kind of feeling for my Scorpios at this time. This could be something that you're going through, something that somebody you know is going through, something that's happening around you, something you feel. Maybe you feel disconnected and let down by something that had always been a very big stability point in your life. Like, let's just say, for instance, I've always liked music, but then my 7-year itch comes and I just don't like it anymore. So, like, I'm up in my head about it, honestly. Kind of feeling defeated, kind of even feeling like everybody knows this about me. They know this thing about me. And now that thing is changing or dissolving or kind of just coming away. And this thing that I've always been known for, kind of up in my head, do I just want to fake it until I remake it? Do I want to come out and say anything at all? I have the Page of Pentacles. But there's just something about it, even if I'm up in my head about how it looks to other people. I still really don't feel like investing any time. I don't have the passion for it anymore. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have it. You know, what is this thing, Scorpio? Okay. So with that being said, you understand, it seems like a very intense lifetime journey. Something that you brought about, something that you put time and effort into it, something that you knew. You understand? Like, you weren't guessing, you weren't involving in other people's opinions or looking at it from any other aspect. You knew this thing like the back of your hand. I'm already enlightened about it. I know everything about it. Of course, this is what I want, or this is... But there's something about it currently or in the upcoming that's just not driving anymore. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper. I'm not pressing you to say, like, why isn't that you like this thing anymore? Because people change. Maybe that thing in your life has served its purpose. Okay. So with the Justice card here, the Emperor in reverse, look at all the major arcana. Like, why is this thing happening? Because you're being called to do something, change something, be somewhere. Be a little confused. But for the most part, what I'm getting is that your feelings are kind of on point for a bigger aspect, for a bigger picture, for a bigger purpose, for something. You know, maybe I just don't want to do it that way anymore. I want to go be a bank teller. So I'm on my way to be a bank teller, right? I've left this thing behind. But lo and behold, guess who works with me at the bank? A long-time monk, guru, specialist that had invested also all of his time. He is superb. He is intelligent. He is well-known. He is amassed. I'm just saying, for instance, stranger things have happened. And then that is where you find your guru monk on the mountaintop. to bring you further and deeper into this thing that you have always loved. Who knows? I don't know. I have the Queen of Swords. I have the Seven of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and then over here I have the King of Swords in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Bottom of the deck, this Queen of Wands. This is all about the action that you're willing to take. You understand? Okay. So truth be told, as it were, it seems like this thing or this life is pushing you or changing directions in a way. It seems really, really profound, and kind of because it is. You know, maybe you left out that one color in the painting, right? Right? That one color that's just going to make the entire painting pop, right? And you have to go back to the store to get that one other color, but you don't really know why you found yourself at that store, but that's where the color is. I can't even try to explain how strange the universe is. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, right? The Seven of Cups, which is about delusions, confusions, dreamlike states, daydreaming, all just about everything that could possibly be. And it's realistic. I am daydreaming. I'm up in my head about everything that could be. Kind of feeling a feeling of optimism too. It's optimistic, right? But then on this side, there is that prioritizing, right? Prioritizing something that has grown tiresome, that has grown old, that has given me the, man, there's not, the good does outweigh the bad. It really, really does. But I prioritize this thing, and I've always prioritized this thing. Right? And I've always pushed away the daydreams, but this thing started as a daydream. It started as a fantasy. But I've always pushed every other fantasy or daydream out the door. But now I'm getting stuck here, kind of dogmatic. Losing the fire, losing the lust. And I think that's why this Queen of Wands is here, to kind of spark that passion back into, even if it's just breathing new life into an old love, even if it's just well, look at all these adventures that I had to sacrifice for this thing that I now spend all my time in. I originally wanted to become a business owner so that I could have enough money to travel the world. And now I have enough money to travel the world, but I just don't have enough time. This business really does. It monopolizes all of my time. I'm not saying that that's your exact circumstance. I'm giving a feeling that, I'm pretty sure that you completely understand the feeling. Maybe just cross-watchers, right? So that they understand what Scorpio is going through at this time. Okay, so what I'm getting is that there's a feeling of boredom. There's a feeling of impatience. There's a feeling of wasting away or failure to progress in the current situation that I've invested and focused on and prioritized over everything else, right? There is a feeling of, there could be, and I'm even getting the impression that maybe if I do this goal, or maybe if I hire 3 other people, maybe if I do this, maybe if Cinderella does all her chores, maybe if, then I can go to the ball. But with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here, right, I'm kind of feeling that that's not going to ever really pan out the way you had anticipated it to. This is probably going to have to be labeled take the chance. Take the vacation. Take the chance. Take the vacation. You know? Take the side quest. Right? Okay. So with the Wheel of Fortune coming up in reverse here, for these guys, right? It's the responsible thing. I'm not telling you it's not the responsible thing. And the 3D. But this will bring you closer to your purpose. In the spiritual realm. Introspection. Insight. And there's your Queen of Swords again. Introspection. Insight. The deeper meaning. Right? So to say, even to say, if this was a relationship, you understand? You've invested and you've invested and you've invested and prioritized, but there's something lacking here. Take the vacation. You know, put a couple of sheets of paper in a jar, shake it around like that, pick one, and see where y'all are going. You know? Stop putting it off. Stop saving for the rainy day. Okay. Go on the small date. You know? Recreate the first date. He doesn't have to ask you again. Or she doesn't have to ask you again. Role reverse. You know? There's something about some sort of long-standing dream or aspiration that has grown just a little stale, right? The passion has flopped. The bread has gone stale. Something. And the opportunities, we're going to look a little bit into the Seven of Cups. Yes, it is the idea of a dreamy state, something that I wish that I could afford, or I wish I had time to. Or it's a child dream, you know, it's irresponsible. But I think that there's a bigger possibility to gain some sort of innate knowledge of self and your partner or your business, or how to bring the passion back with just a little bit of diversity and that pilgrimage. A pilgrimage. We're going to call it a pilgrimage, right? Oh, no. Okay. So King of Cups and the Hangman in reverse again. There's quite an impressive amount of court cards that has come out in this spread. This leads me to believe it's a feeling of overwhelming maturity. The final boss, per se, right? The King of Cups. And the Hangman has come out twice in reverse, once with the Lovers and the Magician over here, saying that kind of like I have attained it. I have attained this thing, right? I can attain a dog, feed the dog, vet the dog, take care of the dog, right? And then a couple of years later, be at the store, and that new collar, right? Pink instead of purple, or black instead of gray, you know, just changes the whole everything about it, right? Now all of a sudden I want to go take the dog walk more often than before, right? This new little vest, or, you understand what I'm saying? There's something very profoundly mature about bringing this new aspect into something that you love. It feels like you're losing the fire, losing the passion, or it's dripping and maybe it's just making room for this pilgrimage, this thing for you to go out and seek, find it, come back, and breathe new life into it. You understand? Maybe it's creating space for you too. I really don't feel like they need me at work anymore. Oh. No, they need you to go take a vacation. They need you to rest. They need you not only to rest and take a vacation, but with the love and attention that you have provided this thing your entire life, or the entire longevity of the relationship, right? They know that when you go out there, you're going to be looking for ways to I'm going to be looking for you gifts when I go to the shops. I'm going to be thinking of you the entire time. That dress would look really good on her, you know? So of course I'm going to send you out there. Get out of my house. Go. You know? I love long-standing relationships like that. Constantly breathing life into each other. Constantly pouring into each other. I'm going to look a little constantly pouring new life and new passion into this thing. I want to look a little bit further into the current energies, because honestly, I kind of want to pick it apart. I kind of want to make it as specific as possible. So come along with me. We're going to have a blast. But for now, Scorpio, what I'm seeing is it's probably time to take a spa day, right? Find some inspiration. Go on the pilgrimage. Take the vacation. Okay, now as far as strength cards go, this is the most violent rendition that I have ever seen. It really looks like she's conquering the lion. She's conquering her lower aspects of herself, right? Keeping them in line. Okay, so there's a vast majority of you that could be trying to justify or talk yourselves out of this very, very irresponsible thing, right? And I think that's why it's giving you that vibe. I have to lead by example with the King of Wands here, right? And there's the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords. The only thing I think I'm missing is the Queen of Cups. For this little King of Cups, he just had his knight. Poor little dude. Anyway. Okay, I have the Four of Wands. I have stability. And then what came out besides that is the Blasted Tower. Okay. So, that's what I think that it is. I think that you're thinking or feeling like you have to give this thing up in order to go to the other thing, right? Or go seek the other thing. And in some cases, that's absolutely true. But for the maturity level of the energies that are rolling off of this, it doesn't necessarily seem like it's the entire case. You know, it seems like you could be holding back a great opportunity to add, to appreciate, to add to this thing, right? Because of fear of it falling apart. I know what I'm feeling, but I am trying to reason myself out of that feeling, right? Practice what you preach. I always kind of lead my employees to be there, be prepared, show up, be consistent. And now here I am 10 years into the business and I want a vacation to Jamaica. Eight of Swords. There is a conformity. That card today means conformity. There is a feeling of not being able to step out the box. Conformity. I wish I could articulate just a little bit better, but right now I'm just kind of banking on the whole message unfolding for you with just the one word, conformity. Right? I'm definitely sensing and feeling that there's this thing that you desperately desire, or something that you have always desired, always put into, always fed, always fueled, right? It is your dream come true. But now there's just this little empty feeling that I keep pushing away, or I keep trying to deny, or I keep trying to, not have, because it's not becoming. It's not very appropriate. It's not becoming. It's the exact opposite of everything that I've always preached. I see the Six of Cups. Okay, so this one card, I'm going to have a couple of messages on it. I get the trickle-down effect, right? I get that there's people that you have put in place or that have watched you long enough, then that can actually survive if you go missing for a week, right? They can. They can survive. They can do it. They can. And, if it's just to take out the trash or just to feed the dogs, I promise you, I'm not promising anything. But I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't you trust them to feed the dogs? Why wouldn't you trust that there'd be a way that the animals would get fed while you were on vacation or while you were out of town? I'm feeling a deeper deliberation about, proper planning and letting the mystery unfold a little bit here during these next couple of weeks. Like, give it a chance. Give it a chance to hit the drawing board, Scorpio. Give it a chance to see what it is actually. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. Okay, but also with the Six of Cups, I get this innocence. This innocence of, right? You're not being vicious. You're not being vindictive. You're not being counterproductive. You're not being ugly. I'm not making them do something that I wasn't willing to do the whole time, right? I see the Seven of Wands. I see some sort of defending, feeling of having to defend yourself. And if you do have to defend yourself, like, I've provided for y'all for 20 years, right? I deserve a trip to Jamaica, and I'm going to keep leaning towards that because it actually seems to be the analogy that we're just going with that analogy this week. The innocence of it, right? How each cup is kind of filling itself. Remember how I said the trickle-down effect? That my relaxation, my benefits, my rest, my beauty sleep is going to benefit everybody here. It's going to, in the long run, benefit more than just me. I see the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and I see the Chariot in reverse. The only thing that could stop you is if they were insistent that they were not willing to work with you on this thing. And then that's a whole bigger fish to fry, I promise you. Because I have a dream. I have a goal. I created this with that same meticulous mind, right? I know what I'm worth. I know what I can accomplish. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I deserve, right? And just for you to sit there and say that you're not willing to work with me, I think that that seven of Wands, right, coming out right here, defending yourself against people with the Three of Pentacles that aren't really necessarily willing to work with you, and the Chariot in reverse are not being able to hold your control or hold your position while in this situation. Just listen and take notes and identify what the problem actually is. Now, this is going very, very deep, but it's also going very, very deep into your current or closely upcoming energies, right? So I'm not real worried about it. I'm feeling like the people that could be working against you, it is always a good idea to listen to them for the sake of argument, for the sake of listening, for the sake of empathy and compassion and understanding. I do want to listen to you. I do care what you have to say. But at the same time, I am not going to let this thing stop me from doing something that I know would benefit everybody, or benefit me in the long run, or benefit the business, right? Or bring a fresh water supply or spiritual supply into my homestead, right? I'm going to listen, I'm going to pay attention, but I'm not going to let it beat down my dreams, goals, and aspirations, or feelings, or hopes, right? Innocent whims and wishes. I'm not going to do that. I do that enough. I'm hard enough on myself. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong for being hard on me, but as hard as I am on myself and meticulous as I am in my endeavors, I can't necessarily say that you have a leg to stand on. I respect the view, but we're giving just a little bit wider berth for this thing that is going to come into our lives, or that I'm going to get, right? Anyway, Scorpio, that's kind of all I have for you at this time. It's really big. It's really important. Teach people how to treat you. Have a little bit of faith in yourself. Because if you've made it this far, you can make it further, right? If you've made it this spectacular, you can make it more spectacular. Give yourself room for creativity, right? I think you're going to be impressed. Here's that Queen of Wands again. I think you'll find yourself very impressed. And until next time, Scorpio, thanks for visiting Eyes to See Tarot.